All right, let's get into it. You know, if you're working in any kind of new industry, you know the feeling. It's thrilling, it's chaotic. Honestly, it's the Wild West. But all that chaos, it can get really expensive fast. So today, we are talking about how to bring some order to that chaos with a really solid process for onboarding and vetting your vendors. And this just says it all, doesn't it? When there are no standards, even the most basic things can get completely out of hand. You're just trying to build a business, but it feels like all you're doing all day is wrangling partners, chasing paperwork, and putting out fires. It's a feeling I think we can all relate to. So let's start right there, with the core problem. See, operating without standards isn't just a little messy, it's actually dangerous for your business. It just swings the door wide open for compliance violations, really costly mistakes, and partnerships that can just totally blow up in your face. And we're not talking about small what-ifs here. These are very, very real consequences. You could literally get a mystery shipment showing up with no paper trail, you could be facing fines or even getting your license suspended, or worst of all, you could get hit with a massive product recall. And it all comes back to not knowing exactly who you are working with from the start. Okay, now this right here is so important because it makes the danger feel real. This isn't some made-up scenario. It's a true story of a business getting its inventory seized, all because a vendor's license expired and nobody had a system in place to catch it. That is an absolute disaster, and it was completely preventable. So how do you actually protect yourself? Well, it starts with the first piece of the puzzle, onboarding. And I want you to stop thinking of this as just paperwork. Think of it as a protective data shield for your entire business. It's about creating one single, reliable source of truth for every single partner you work with. And hey, getting started can be as simple as a checklist in a shared document. So what is onboarding exactly? Well, it's the structured process of gathering all that essential data. We're talking business, financial, and compliance info before you even think about signing a purchase order. And the keywords there are up front. This is not something you do down the line. It has to be step one every time. And this is the kind of stuff you need to be collecting. We're talking everything from their legal name and license numbers to their payment terms and tax forms. You need to know their delivery lead times, their compliance details, like who supplies their packaging, which lab do they use for testing. Trust me, every single piece of this information prevents a future fire you'll have to put out. And here's the really cool part. The onboarding process itself is a test. It works as a natural filter. A vendor who can't or won't provide this basic info is telling you something really important about how they run their business. All the disorganized or, maybe even unlicensed vendors, they get weeded out automatically. Okay, but just collecting the data is only half the battle, right? You actually have to do something with it. And that brings us to the second and honestly the more important step, vetting. This is where you look beyond the forms and you make a real judgment call. I love this slide because it just lays it out so perfectly. Onboarding is the mechanism. It's the paperwork. It's basically the vendor saying, here, this is who I am. But vetting is the judgment. It's the analysis. It's you asking, okay, but are you really who you say you are? And are you a partner I can actually rely on? So vetting is that active evaluation. Seriously, think of it as a background check for their business. You're not just confirming that their license exists, you're confirming it's active and in good standing. You're deciding if they're not just a legitimate company, but if they're actually capable and trustworthy enough to do business with. And this is why it is so critical. Onboarding without vetting, it's just a pile of data. Good vetting is what actually protects you from those partners who love to overpromise and underdeliver, the ones who can't fulfill orders or the ones who might drag you into some legal nightmare. It screens out the bad actors before they become your problem. Okay, so how do you actually do this? Well, a huge part of vetting happens in person. It's about getting out of the office, visiting a vendor's site, and seeing the reality of their operation, not just their sales pitch. So here's what to look for when you're there. So here's a quick and dirty checklist. First, are there pets wandering around the production area? Because, a customer finding a dog hair in their product is your problem, not the vendor's. Is the staff wearing proper gear, gloves, hairnets, all that? If you see a big empty room, ask them about it. Look at their packaging process. Is it sloppy? Does their operation actually look like it can handle the huge orders they promised you? These are the red flags you can only spot in person. So at the end of the day, all of this, the forms, the questions, the site visits, it all really comes down to one simple thing. You setting and enforcing standards for your own business. Because this whole process, it's the very first real test of any new partnership. I mean, think about it. If a potential partner is struggling to fill out a basic form correctly, or they can't seem to find a valid certificate of insurance, that is a massive warning shot. If they can't handle the simple stuff when everything is calm and new, how on earth are they going to perform under pressure when an order is late or there's a problem with a bill? And this is the perfect way to think about it all. Your business is your house. Your onboarding process is you politely asking them to take their shoes off at the door. It's a simple, reasonable request that shows they respect your space. And if they say no, well, that tells you everything you need to know, doesn't it?
Look, this isn't about being difficult or making people jump through hoops just for the sake of it. A partner's willingness to follow your process is a direct reflection of their professionalism. It shows they respect your time, they respect your business, and most importantly, it shows they respect the customers that you both are supposed to be serving. So the biggest thing to take away from all this is a question you have to ask yourself. If a potential partner pushes back, or they complain, or they just can't seem to follow your clearly defined process, will they ever really respect your business?